Fletcher, I know, left with ice on his knee, but it's still early in camp. Should there be any concern?
No, there's no concern. I mean, Danny went in and checked that out, and the trainers came back and said it'll just be a day-to-day thing and should be fine within a couple. So, you know, we're good with him, you know, taking some time to get back from that one.
After the way last season ended, do you get any sense that there's renewed hunger at all in this group?
I don't like to think about it as renewed hunger. I think there's things that we needed to get better at and improve upon, and that's something we talked about early in camp about, you know, protecting the ball better and punching it out more, and turnover margin being a big indicator and a big predictor of wins when it comes into postseason. We've seen it the last 2 years in East Finals, and you know, we all feel like, you know, we worked extremely hard. You could tell the guys have. For 6 months, but I think our team's always hungry. Our team always works, but there's always little things you can get better at and fine-tune, and I think that's a big emphasis for us this year. And so I don't look at it as hunger. I just think I said it after the game. We're going to learn from this one. It's going to hurt, but we're going to learn, and that's what our guys put our heads together. And you know, we're going to still continue to do the things that have made us a successful organization over the last 2 years, very consistent. But that's the thing that's going to put us over the top, is being more concerned with how we carry the goddamn ball and how we punch it out.
I like that goddamn ball quote, to tell you the truth.
Sorry.
Is redemption greater than repeating, if you understand the question?
No, I don't know that I understand that or not. I think it's good to win regardless, whether you're repeating or it's a new team every year. It's your organization can put it on the wall as a repeat, but the team's not repeating. It's a different team every single year. I mean, I love the quote when, you know, the Grey Cup a couple of years ago when O'Shea got asked that question about repeating or about going for a third, and he's like, it's a different team. Every year it's a different team, and it feels different every year. So the organization gets to put it on the wall as a repeat, but in our team, we all feel differently. So, you know, we just want to win. And I think that's whether you're repeating in your sense or, you know, getting back at somebody for having lost to someone. I mean, I think winning feels great. But I think working to win feels better than anything.
You said earlier in camp that you want to see Davis lead. What exactly do you want to see, like, specifically? And have you seen examples of that?
Well, I mean, communication's a big thing with leading. Consistency is a big thing with leading. You know, doing your job, being prepared and ready to go every single day, and taking the ups and downs as they come. And I think I see that every single day with him. Every single rep, I see growth. But one thing I do see from him is communication and consistency. It happens over and over again. He's extremely good at that. You know, and you can see him getting more comfortable with every rep he takes. So he's put a lot of work and effort into this season, and you can see it paying off, like I said, daily.
Sorry, how long did it take you to get over the division final?
To be quite honest with you, I mean, it's a 6-month period. I mean, I mean, like, you think about the team, you think about getting better every single day and how you're going to do that and accomplish that. You know, I felt like we were a prepared football team to play, and I think I credit all of our guys, because 2 weeks of sitting around and working hard and not having an opponent the first week, we continued to work. I felt like we were ready to roll. Just turnovers got us in that game, and I give them credit, but I also know that we need to be better at that. So knowing that, I feel like, you know, again, the thing that I just described about how we're going to get better, that made me feel better right away. But it still takes 6 months to get back on the field and start working for it again. You do a lot of work in the offseason, but there's nothing quite assembling the team again, trying to pick a team and having us work together again, and that's what took so long.
So what was your thought on the sideline that day when you were watching your team, I hate to say, but self-destruct?
Well, you say self-destruct, but it's still, we were fighting, and we always say it, if we're having an off day and those margins aren't where we want them to be, the way we stick together and the way we continue to work, we'll always have an opportunity to overcome it at the end. And that's what I loved about the team. No matter how it went that way with our turnover margin, we were still in it to the very, very end of that game, because our guys don't quit. Our guys continue to trust each other. Our guys continue to believe in each other. And I never thought about it any other way. I just knew, you know, I knew in order to win that game, turnover margin was going to be a big difference, but also efforting all game long gives you a chance to win, and this team will always have a chance to win the way we effort like that.
Thank you.
You talk about cohesion. team cohesion? Do you still learn French, or how was your French?
My French is comme ci, comme ça. It's so-so. It's not great. It's something I do work on. I do my Duolingo. You know, we do I'm pretty good about greetings, salutations, and things like that. But besides that, you know, it's a work in progress. So, you know, I think I would say that for the majority of our guys on our team. So, except for the Quebecers, and you know, that's probably a good thing.
You mentioned Davis being impressed with how he came in, and he put in a lot of work for the offseason. Like, I guess just how impressed are you by? You said he looks different. I mean, was that something you were expecting?
You know, I just was expecting him to be prepared. Obviously, you can tell he's lifted a lot of weights. He's ran a lot. He's in great shape. Which, you know, I've always felt that quarterbacks, even though they don't get to prove it every day, they should be about as good a shape as anybody on the team. But he definitely is. And I know he's a competitor, so I knew he would be prepared, and you can just see it. But he's more prepared mentally than anything, and that's what I love about him. He knows the playbook. He knows every read, everything that everyone's doing. He's able to look and diagnose things and make good decisions out there, and that's what he's been doing all camp so far, and that's what we just want to see continued.
I feel like you instilled the culture that like no job is safe. But I guess how much of a leash will Davis have in the early going? Like, does he need to hit the ground running? Like,
he's earned respect from our football team, and we know it's not always easy every game, and you know it's a team game first of all. So you know he's our starting quarterback, and he'll be given. If you guys want to think about his leash, he'll be given quite a big leash to play. I mean, the name of the game for quarterbacks is always your wins and losses matter, but it's also decision making, a lot of other things that come down to it, and it takes all of us to do that. So, and you know, our team's not necessarily. It's competition that our guys we've created here. So our guys understand that, and they're competing every single day. So obviously, if you're not doing your job, there's a guy next to you that is doing his job, and he's competing with you. So, but it's not about instilling fear. It's about instilling competition and understanding we're doing what's best for the organization, and they need to think about it that way. So they need to always have it in their mindset that I'm doing everything I can to be ready to not let the guy next to me to help the guy next to me be the best he can be, and ultimately the team to be the best they can be. So I don't like to say instill fear, because they just know it's competition and it's real here.